Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Yes, it's livery time once again. We've got liveries from Williams and Alfa Romeo. But before we do that, let's take a blast from the past at Williams. Yes, and let's have a look at the now iconic Williams from 1992 as driven by Nigel Mansell. It's Mansell, it's Senna, it's Prost, it's Hill. God bless you, Murray. God bless you indeed. Yes, here it is. The 1992 Williams as driven by Mansell. Oh, this car had everything. Everything. Yes, active suspension, ABS, traction control, anything you could throw at it. This car had it. And this is the car that got Nigel to the World Championship. Fantastic. The iconic FW14. Now, just looking at the livery on this car, you can see straight away it's a Williams, and this is what got me into Formula 1 in the first place. Just look at that livery and tell me that is not a thing of beauty. Not a thing of beauty. Of course, back in the day when we had the cigarette sponsorship on the cars, yes, back in the day, but just look at the beautiful creature you see before you there. Look at it, it's just absolutely brilliant. And as I say, just absolutely loved that livery, and it's what got me into Formula 1. I just love the Williams livery, and not so much these days, but yeah, there you go, 1992. Now, of course, we then progressed through the years, and we now move on to the Williams of 1998. What a mistaker to maker that was, wasn't it? Who on earth decided to turn the Williams car, the iconic blue, into red? Yes, now of course it's because of the sponsor, which as you can see is more cigarette advertising, Winfield. That's why it's in red, but oh my god, what a disaster, what an absolute disaster. And the car wasn't much better either. No, they went from top of the heap to pretty much midfield contenders. In fact, Jack Villeneuve said, I seem to be racing different people this year. Yes, he was racing Tyrrells and Benettons and lots of other teams sort of in the midfield, but he certainly wasn't up there with the best of them, because the Williams took a serious downgrade in 1998. Of course, they lost the Renault deal for the engine supplier. It has got a Renault engine in the back of it, but it's just a Renault customer engine, the old Z-Tech engine, and so it really didn't have the support from Renault that they've had for so many years before that. So much support and evolution, that's what made them win the championship on several occasions, but they lost that when Renault pulled out. And I say, so basically it's just a customer engine. Renault, they just basically drove to Renault, picked up one of their engines and whacked it into the back of the car. And their own mechanics had to look after that engine for the whole year, so developments on the car were very slow as well, because they didn't have the expertise of Renault. Other things also detracted from their championship in 1998, of course, and that was the Ayrton Senna trial nonsense, which appeared during the 97 and 98 seasons. Of course, they were doing touring car as well, if anyone remembers that. British touring car by Williams was in I think it was 97. So yeah, that all took the ball off, of course, their F1 car. And you can see where they made a fundamental error, and where it would never have happened if their eye had been on the ball. Just look at the suspensions. Look, it's sticking out from the top of the car there. You see that? I have never in all my life seen a car with such an obvious design cock-up. Instead of making it sort of higher there, so it would have encompassed all of the, I presume that's the spring inside there somewhere. It's got to be a spring, I think it is anyway. But instead of having the body go over the top of that to make it into one smooth line, we got this horrible, like, tiny little devil's horns at the front of the Williams, as you can see there. Look at it. It's just, oh my god, I've never on a car seen something designed that badly. So there it was, the 1998 Williams. Woody Woodpecker, that was a good sponsor to have on the side of it. It really was, because it was an absolute chuffing disaster. It really was. Anyway, let's move on now to our next Williams. Of course, we're now going to 2006. Of course, this was the first season for Nico Rosberg, and unfortunately, it wasn't very good because they had to go to the Cosworth engine for 2006. But anyway, you can see now that they were trying to get back to the iconic blue and white in their livery, and that sort of the main stay force at Williams for quite a few years after that. And in fact, pretty much today now, this is also what Williams are going for. It started, of course, with the BMWs, where they started to get the blue and the white in as well. Don't forget, of course, from 2000, the Williams looked very, very different indeed. Very, very different indeed when Jenson Button came on board for his first season, of course. But this, of course, is the livery from 2006. I do like that livery, I must admit. It looks pretty classic. So now we move on to 2015, and this is the sort of livery from the Williams FW37 that we sort of got used to at Williams for quite a few years. Got the martini on the back of it, of course, and it's mostly white with just a few little bits of black in it, but that livery sort of carried us through quite a few seasons in Formula 1. That was the 2015 car. So let's have a look now at the 2022 Williams. So this is last year's car. And you can see they already had the Duracell sponsorship, which I'll get to in a moment. But yeah, so they were really going for the blue now. They've sort of almost completely got rid of the white there. And it's basically just a completely all-over blue car. So here it is then. Here is the car reveal. You've already seen it, so don't fake your excitement. But yes, here it is. The 2023 Williams car. And I have to say that that Duracell on the airbox, whoever thought of that, absolute frigging genius. Yes, absolute genius to have Duracell on the airbox there. That was a brilliant idea. So there you go, Duracell, a main sponsor again for the Williams. And but in the looks department, it doesn't really look that much different from the 2022 car, does it really? No. I'm still surprised that Williams are still on the grid, to be honest. I really am. But there they are. There they are in all their glory for 2023. So what do you think of that car? Let me know in the comments. What do you think of that one? It's not many people actually did any sort of videos about the Williams because it was like, yeah, we know what it's going to be like. And there it is. So now, of course, we've got the next livery reveal, and it is the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo. First, of course, though, we'll have a look at the 2022 Alfa, and there it is in all its glory. Very nice car. I do like the little white bit there and the red. Very nice indeed. But for 2023, I can exclusively reveal they have gone for this. There it is. Yes, a lot of comments I've seen, people think, yeah, it looks like an old Ferrari. And I have to agree. In fact, it's sort of giving me 1995 Ferrari vibes. I don't know whether you think like that as well. If you remember the 1995, not in looks, obviously, because it looks totally different, but just in the way that the red is in the car, it does look very 1995, because don't forget that car had a lot of black and red in it. So yeah, definitely giving me those sort of vibes. I think we've got a few new sponsors. We've got Kick plastered all over the rear wing and down the side pods. And apart from that, I can't say much difference in the car. But it does look a little bit dark. And a lot of people have said it's going to be a very dark grid for 2023. They seem to be trying to get rid of like white colours in the cars for some unknown reason. I don't know why. Maybe it shows up better on UHD TVs. I don't know, but of course that's probably a reason. But yeah, everything's going to be a little bit dark this year. Don't forget, going back to something like 2005, it was all multicoloured, all the car liveries, weren't they? They were all really bright and funky colours, but these days it seems to be going for more dark. Now, of course, don't forget, we heard that report, I think it was last year, wasn't it, that Williams actually took a lot of paint off their car to reduce the weight. Well, I'm wondering if the other teams are following suit and actually taking paint off the car to try and keep the weight down. It seems rather bizarre. I'm not quite sure how much paint weighs. I mean, you know, if you put 3 lots of emulsion on your wall, well, I'd imagine there's a little bit of weight there, but how much really? But then again, Formula 1 weight is everything, so yeah, I can see why they're doing it. But anyway, there it is then. Exclusive. Yes, the Alfa Romeo livery for 2023. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you excited? Are you excited for the 2023 season? Or are you not? Are you not? Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. You have been awesome as always. There will be more livery reveals soon. I think there's a couple round about February the 14th. Yeah, well, that means I'll be here for that because there's nothing else I've got going on. No. Insert sad music here. Anyway, there you go then. Thanks everyone. Awesome as always. Let me know in the comments what you think of the 2 new liveries announced so far for the 2023 season. Thank you everyone, and good night.